Just a quick reminder that the Simon Dan Kickstarter is still live. There's still time to make your pledge, and a huge thank you to all those that have done so already. Click the link in the description to find out more. Thank you. Last month we turned our attentions to Peter and Pete, and specifically a set of 10 questions which they believe all flat earthers should know how to answer. We looked at the first 5 then, we're going to look at the second 5 today, and I can only hope the answers they gave this time are better than the one they gave to the question, what is light? Hello all and welcome along to another episode of Flat Earth Friday with me, Simon Dan. Thank you very much for joining me. Before we begin today, a huge thank you to the sponsors of today's video, YouGov. YouGov is an internet-based market research company, and they conduct polls on a variety of different topics from politics to pop culture. YouGov is free to join and so easy to use to gain extra cash. And as a member, you'll earn points for giving your actual opinions that matter by completing short surveys and polls. Now, having that extra bit of cash on hand can be really useful. When I first started using YouGov to sort of build up a family kitty, but it quickly turned into a running equipment fund. Don't tell the wife. Now, it's so easy to take these surveys and polls. In fact, I did one this morning over coffee at the local coffee shop, but I also do them whilst I'm waiting for stuff. Dentist, school run, that sort of thing. And one of the interesting polls I found on the site recently was regarding Alan Turing. Now, in the UK here, the £50 note, the new one, will have Alan Turing on the back of it, and quite unbelievably, 23% of people in this country do not even know who Alan Turing is. Come on, UK, must do better. So tap my link in the description, start taking surveys and earn cash now. Right, back to today's video and the dynamic duo of Peter and Pete. Now, they're going through a list of 10 questions which they believe all flat earthers should know the answer to. We're up to question 6. Take it away, gents.
Number 6, Here we go.
Some people say conspiracy theorists. In this instance, a conspiracy theorist is someone who questions the paradigm of the science world or the zeitgeist of modern science. And that person only listens to claims that support their theories while ignoring or dismissing evidence.
Absolute flat earther there, that description. Sorry, Pete, continue.
In this instance, evidence isn't concrete proof, rather it's a support to a claim.
Or to an idea
that goes against with what they believe. Do you believe there's any truth to that?
Well, firstly, we don't believe in anything, or we try not to.
Secondly,
for the main
you should stop using the word or the phrase conspiracy theorists, because there's lots of people like us who think there's a lot of BS in society, and not everybody accepts what they read in newspapers or see on TV.
Well, I sort of agree with them here. Some people doubt mainstream science and mainstream media, of course, but that does not make them a conspiracy theorist. They may be subject to some conspiratorial thinking, but that is not quite the same. Conspiracy theorists are those that wildly spread misinformation that's patently incorrect. That is the small difference there, I believe.
But if you disagree with that, you're considered to be a conspiracy theorist.
Not by me.
Sure, and yet we could argue that people who promote the globe Earth, they're conspiring.
They're conspiring, yeah.
They're conspiring against the real world, really, because it's our understanding the Earth is a level plane. So,
but that is just not correct. You are factually wrong in thinking that. There is no conspiracy from globe earthers, it's just normality. We are defending the principles of science from the attacks of flat earthers.
We could look at all people who support the globe and support this science stuff about water being H2O and there's oxygen in the air and all this kind of stuff as being conspiracy theorists, because they are essentially, in our view, they are skewing the real world. They're skewing the understanding of it. For the people.
But the problem is, these things are all well understood. It's basic science with hard evidence to support it. I don't think we're going to agree anymore on this one. Let's move on to question 7.
Number 7. From what I've seen from your YouTube comments and science YouTubers who respond to you, is that you guys dismiss people who have different viewpoints.
Different experiences than your own.
Oh, yeah, even when they present their reasonings and explanations. Now, I haven't skimmed every video and every comment you've ever made, so I could be completely wrong about this. Do you feel as though you're ever being dismissive?
If they say no, I will not believe it because they were literally being dismissive in the last question.
And I would say to certain people, absolutely yes, yeah, because they're coming out with the same old rubbish that we've already had from people before, and these people can't seem to understand our point of view. In that they're presenting to us is an idea.
Oh no, we understand your point of view. You say that oxygen is not part of our atmosphere. There's not much to unpack there that we don't understand about that. And the thing is, you're just wrong about that.
And by giving evidence, they're only supporting that idea. We want to know whether that idea is true.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
Or not. That's what we want.
It's like the idea that we've had quite a number of occasions where people have left comments because we think there's no oxygen in the air. A lot of people have left comments saying to us, stick a bag over your head and then see whether there's no oxygen in the air.
And you think, well, how these people are mad, aren't they?
Yeah, I know, yeah.
Because that doesn't prove anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a silly comment because putting a bag over your head doesn't confirm or deny whether there's oxygen in the atmosphere. But what I would ask Peter and Pete here is, what is it then that we breathe if not oxygen? And I would also say, what is it that causes some metals to rust if oxygen is indeed not in our atmosphere? Because they would have to come up with new theories about all of that.
How does that prove there's oxygen as a constituent of the air? It doesn't,
Just by placing the bag over your head.
It's a very flippant statement, you know.
So you've got to be dismissive towards comments like that.
Absolutely, you've got to be, because a lot
this
of people...
is the mentality of people.
Not all of us, guys, not all of us. On to question 8, please.
So number 8. It's been critiqued that the flat earth theory is a pseudo-scientific movement with cult-like us versus them mentality. Do you feel as though it's you against the world when it comes to your views? Well, firstly, we could turn the table there and say that the flat earth, the globe earth theory is a pseudo-scientific movement with cult-like us versus them mentality.
Right, 2 things here. Firstly, for the general public who understand that the earth is a globe, many of them just don't care. There's no cult here. It's just accepted fact, and so it should be. But for people like me and other debunkers and those that watch us, then maybe. But that is because it's been forced upon us by you flat earthers. I don't care what you say. I've been covering flat earth for... Fat earth? I've been covering flat earth for almost 6 years, and I've spoken in depth with ex-flat earthers who've been deep in their communities. It is an online cult.
Because when I go out into society, I feel it's as if the people who support the globe, they're part of a club.
Yes, it's called the Normal Human Living Their Lives Club. Question 9, please.
So number 9, would you ever change your mind on any stances that you have if presented with credible and reliable evidence that says otherwise? And if yes, what would that constitute? Well, I can safely say that if we're presented with evidence to support an idea, then I'd never change my mind, because I'm not changing my mind over with some bit of information that supports an idea.
Well, that's disappointing to hear.
Yeah, I've just written down a bit of information, done a bit of maths
that supports the idea.
There you go. It's a fact.
No, it can't be a fact because it's based on the idea.
Oh, well, this is only evidence.
It's only evidence.
It's not proof.
It's not proof, absolutely, of course, yeah.
It's like using mathematics to calculate how far a star is away. But that's not. You're not proving how far that star is away because you need to measure it. You need to verify that calculation.
You can! Using the same principles as holding your finger at arm's length and closing one eye and then opening the other, we can calculate the distance to stars. If you haven't studied that and you don't understand why, that is not your fault. But you have to understand that people have studied it in depth for most of their lives. And what they've discovered is true because they've proven it time and time again. Dear oh dear, I'm getting annoyed now. Let's move on to question number 10.
So, and the last one here. All these different people go on your channel, me being one of them, and try to argue with you about science. I've noticed that, at least from my understanding, that arguing on the internet rarely, if ever, leads to a good outcome. I could type the most well thought out argument ever made, but still have it be dismissed or ignored. Do you ever get tired arguing with people?
Well, firstly, I'd like to say, I don't think he's argued with us about science.
No, I don't think he has, no.
But one thing Omomon has to realise, and that is, well, it's like in the UK, people don't get on.
Speak for yourselves. I'm in the UK and I get on with almost everyone, you'll be surprised to hear. But I'm going to answer this one for them. They're not tired of it. And neither am I, because I will not stop until the flat earthers of this world stop pushing their agenda on everyone who will listen. It is plainly wrong, and we've proven it multiple times. We have a thriving community of debunkers here on YouTube who've sent the flat earthers back to where they come from time and time again. Yet still, more appear thinking they've got all the answers to everything, but all they have is just recycled claptrap from old flat earthers who've been debunked many times. I'll be here always until that cycle stops. Well, there we go. What an insight that was into the minds of Peter and Pete. But unfortunately for today and this week, we are done and dusted for another Flat Earth Friday. Thanks so much for watching. It truly is appreciated as always. Please do consider subscribing to the channel. Look, if you watch this channel and don't subscribe, please do, because we're getting close to 500,000. I said it in a short the other day, when we get there, we're going to have a Flat Earth Friday every single day of the week, except Tuesday, of course, because that's Tinfoil Tuesday. So a Flat Earth Friday video, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Plus on the Sunday night, we'll have a live stream, Ask Me Anything. It's going to be a big celebration when we hit that 500,000. So if you do watch and you don't subscribe, please do. Just enough time to once again thank YouGov for sponsoring today. If you click the link in the description, you can start taking surveys and earn cash now. I've been Simon Dan. Have yourselves a cracking weekend, and I'll see you all on Tuesday for the return of Matt Powell, and he's saying that Charles Darwin is a liar. Oh, Matt. See you then.